welcome to JAFTA Propella 2020 Films Virtual Premiere. For those of you who are joining us at JAFTA Online via our YouTube channel, it's going to be an amazing evening. First, we're going to kick things off with a couple of remarks from some very important people. Without them, tonight wouldn't be possible. And then we're going to see four great films. I've seen them. That's what you get when you're the host. You get to preview. And I was absolutely blown away by the tremendous talent. So I know, look forward to what you're going to experience tonight. I want to acknowledge, first of all, the presence of the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport through the person of our permanent secretary who's going to be speaking to us later on, Denzel Thorpe. We have JAMPRO in the house, Renee Robinson, Film Commissioner. Tiffany Lindo is also somewhere. I saw Tiffany. Big up to Tiffany. I want to big up the filmmakers, the Propeller finalists, judges, our partners, Phase 3, Far Eye Films, you, the members of our audience, everyone who's out tonight. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting us. I want to tell you a little bit, first of all, of what Propeller is all about. JAFTA Propella is one of the Jamaica Film and Television Association's signature initiatives. It was established in 2016, and it's a short film script to screen development initiative geared at creating new, diverse, and stronger Jamaican stories. It's about honing local talent and skill sets and encouraging best practices in producing projects. After an open call for treatment, the relevant participants, we call them the propellants, each select a project. They undertake a series of workshops, including script development, directing, and producing, and they're provided with constructive feedback and monitoring along the way prior to the final edit. On fulfilling certain requirements, each project selected is awarded a grant to assist with the production of the project. In addition to partial funding, JAFTA Propella projects are supported through the collaborative efforts of JAFTA members and the Jamaican filmmaking community based on a mutual love of film and a desire to see Jamaican projects and stories being developed. All projects are executive produced by JAFTA. Since its 2016 launch, JAFTA Propella has produced 14 original short film projects, and that's not something to just gloss over. 14 projects is amazing since 2016, and many of them have been screened at various local and international festivals, won various awards, some of which are being developed into feature films and series, by the way. So more Jamaican content, we say, across the globe. Tonight, we're going to be seeing, I told you, amazing films, High Strangeness, Knock Knock, Sink or Swim, and Sugarcake. A little bit later on, I'm going to tell you some more about them before you get to see them. But to kick things off, we start with remarks from the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport. And I have to say, from 2016 to 2018, production funding support for Propeller has been provided by the Chase Fund. But in 2020, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport came on board to lend support as the new production funding sponsor. And so it is my pleasure to welcome Denzel Thorpe, Permanent Secretary.
Master of Ceremonies, Ms. Dahlia Harris, Film Commissioner JAMPRO, Ms. Renee Robinson, President of the Jamaica Film and Television Association, JAFTA, Ms. Annalisa Chapman, CEO of Phase 3, Mr. Delano Forbes, mentors to our filmmakers, propellants, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening. Please accept the apologies of my minister, the Honorable Olivia Grange, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, who is unable to be with us this evening. She has asked me to deliver the opening remarks on her behalf and sends her best wishes for a wonderful viewing. I'm happy to be able to witness the premiere of these 4 films for the 2020 season of Propeller. We all know that 2020 came with its challenges, but the resilience of our filmmakers, the commitment of JAFTA to this initiative, the support of the Film Commission, and the dedication of the mentors is evidence that our film industry is in capable hands. Films are a diverse mechanism that showcase the culture of any country. It encompasses use of geography, exposure to the culture, as you can see dance, hear music and language, see the demography of the people, and get insights into their way of life. They also bring to the fore the challenges that our society faces at the forefront, and they bring out our emotions in ways unimaginable. This is why it is so important for the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport to support initiatives like Propeller. Since 2016, JAFTA has used this short film script-to-screen developmental initiative known as Propeller to unearth, hone, and establish the skills and talents of emerging scriptwriters, producers, actors and actresses, and directors to participate in creating diverse Jamaican stories. The 14 films that have emerged from the project so far are testament to the immense talent of our people, and we thank you for championing this project. I applaud the work of the crews that worked on Sugarcake, written and directed by Joshua Paul and produced by Saeed Thomas. Sink or Swim, written and co-directed by Tony Hendricks and produced by Natalie Thompson. High Strangeness, written and directed by Didi Beck and produced by Carleene Samuels. And The Knock Knock, written and directed by Dario Shields and produced by Frank O'Neill. And I can't wait to actually see the finished products. Dela, you have a head start on me with that. As endorsers and supporters of this project, I also thank Phase 3 for their contribution to the process by providing equipment and technical assistance in ensuring that these short films look great on screen. The Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, through our entertainment division, continues to endorse and support the work of JAFTA and the Propeller Initiative in strengthening the output of the ever-evolving film industry. We commit to our continued collaboration with JAMPRO and JAFTA to grow initiatives like this so that we can necessarily evolving film industry, financial and otherwise, that we know our local film industry can accrue by telling our stories. My team in the entertainment division reminded me that we are going to be viewing short films, so these must be short remarks. So let me wish you a wonderful premiere, and in my best director's voice, action.
Thank you very much, PS Thorpe, for that. And now we move to remarks from Renee Robinson, Film Commissioner of JAMPRO. JAMPRO has been a supporting partner of JAFTA Propella since its inception in 2016, and it remains the initiative's market attendance support partner. For the 2016 to 2018 stagings of JAFTA Propella, the films have premiered at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival, who has also been a collaborative partner with JAFTA from the inception of the program. JAMPRO has sponsored a representative from each of the projects to attend TTFF, and for the 2017 and 2018 cohort, JAMPRO facilitated and sponsored a film market component for attendance of participants at the Clermont-Ferrand International Short Film Festival in France. So big up to JAMPRO. Tiffany, Linda, I see you in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, Film Commissioner Renee Robinson.
Thank you, Delia, Madam Chair, my friend and colleague. It's such a pleasure to be here, and good evening to you all, wherever in the world you are joining us from. It is my absolute pleasure to be able to join you tonight. And also, thank you to my favorite permanent secretary, Permanent Secretary P.S. Thorpe, particularly for those words, and then also for giving me the opportunity to now being able to say all protocols observed, because he did all of that work for us to make sure that everyone was properly acknowledged and that the minister's voice was represented. So thank you, PS, for that. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. And from a Film Commission perspective, this is one of our most important activities. We call it a signature event. JAMPRO and the Film Commission has been a part of JAFTA Propella from its very inception in 2016. And I just want to say that one of the things that has been most important to us is the opportunity to create business access for our filmmakers. And we know we're a country that is full of talent. Talent can't done. We're looking at shorts, but we are not short of talent in this particular instance. This is an opportunity for us to be able to identify how can we move from our creative space, and then how do we actually bring that into our business opportunities for the film industry. So it is a pleasure to be here. We've been able to support this program for the past few years, and we are absolutely ready to continue the support. It is crucial. This has been a really difficult year for all of us. All of us, we know this, and we know this deeply, and we all feel it. It has been a tough year, but the creative economy is resilient, and I applaud all of you for all of the work that you have done over the past year to make sure that we are still able to contribute creatively, economically, and in all of our identity as Jamaicans and what it is that we're offering to the world. And these shorts give you a slice of life, a piece of Jamaican identity, a piece of Jamaican culture, and a piece of our Jamaican future of what we can do in the film industry. So I'm pleased to be here. I congratulate you all. I thank you, JAFTA, for all of your work in making this possible, and all of the partners who have brought us here today. And everyone has contributed to the process, because, you know, Delia, I know you know this. We look about with Talawa, and it is coming out more and more in our creative economy, in the ways that we're able to impact the world through our storytelling, through our talent, through our work. And yeah, big up on yourself. I'm pleased to be here, and I cannot wait to see the films. I know Delia saw them already. I kind of preps them a little bit, but I think there's been some changes, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to this. And I think we're on an excellent path. So kudos to everyone who's been a part of this. It has been a pleasure and an honor for JAMPRO to continue to support this, and we look forward to everything else that JAFTA Propella is going to be doing in the future.
Thank you very much, Renee. I tell you, it sounded almost like you saw them, because they really are powerful Jamaican stories. But what's even more amazing is they have universal themes, and that's what makes them globally marketable. And so I'm excited for everyone to see them. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll tell you something. Phase 3 has always been an in-kind sponsor of JAFTA and JAFTA Propella. And in 2020, they came on board as an official sponsor of the initiative, as an official sponsor for in-kind equipment and support. And they're also sponsoring and powering this virtual screening. And so it's my pleasure to welcome remarks from CEO and Creative Director of Phase 3, Delano Forbes.
Good night, everybody. I want to start by congratulating all the filmmakers. I don't think there's ever been as exciting a time for content producers. And again, all you guys for actually getting out there and telling our stories, that within itself is a remarkable achievement. And just based on the quality of the films that I've seen, from the writing to the cinematography to the lighting to all aspects of the productions, I can say, they're truly first class. Phase 3 is very happy with our sponsorship of the Propella program. We've always kind of helped out individual filmmakers on an informal basis, but now actually being a formal sponsor takes it to the next level. And I just want to finish by adding that JAFTA, thank you JAFTA, because the platform that you've provided here through Propella and all the advocacy that you're making, is really making a difference in our industry, moving it forward. So once again, congrats to everybody.
Thank you very much, Delano. Listen, you heard little but Talawa. That describes our next speaker. She is president of the Jamaica Film and Television Association, the association responsible for creating and executing JAFTA Propella. It is such a pleasure for me to welcome Annalisa Chapman. I wish I was there to say, yay! Hey, Annalisa.
Little but Talawa, all right. Thank you, Delio. Good evening, everyone. And I will echo Renee with saying all protocols observed. It is a pleasure to be here as well and welcome all our viewers. Again, first off, congratulations to all the propellants. Guys, you know, making any film, no matter how short, is a tremendous task. And, you know, you all should really be very proud of what you've accomplished, because as the speakers have already mentioned, we have been in some very challenging times, and you managed to pull it off, and they're all an indication of the great potential that lies ahead. As Delia mentioned, JAFTA Propella at its core is about development. It's about creating new and diverse stories and helping to hone the talent behind it. And we have such amazing talent in Jamaica, both in front and behind the camera. JAFTA Propella, of course, we focus a lot on the writing, directing, and some of the producing aspects of it. But none of these films could be done without the amazing cast and crew behind it, because it's a collaborative effort. And they all do it because they believe in the film industry. They believe in the stories we have to tell, and they want to see more of those visualized on screen. So it's very important for us and for you all to continue to support local initiatives such as JAFTA Propella, to support local talent, support local films, so that this sector, this audiovisual sector, can continue to propel forward. And I know tonight the propellants are so excited to share their films with you, and we're excited for you to get to know more about these visual storytellers. So I just want to say congrats again to this class of 2020, so to speak. And of course, thank you once again to all our supporting partners, Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, JAMPRO and Phase 3, although they're supporting partners of Propella, believe me, they have been long-standing partners of JAFTA and even more long-standing supporters of Jamaica's film, TV, and entire audiovisual industry. So kudos to everyone, and I'm so excited to hear what you all have to think about this experience and to watch the films. Congrats.
Thank you very much, Annalise, and thank you so much for the work that you continue to do. You have heard it, Propella is about growth, it's about development, and so mentorship is a critical part of this initiative. And next we're going to be hearing from two persons that have helped these films along their journey. First, we're going to hear from Alric Brown. Alric's a screenwriter, a filmmaker, an NYU professor, educator, and long-standing and lead mentor of JAFTA Propella, and that's been since its inception in 2016. He has been supporting emerging creators, storytellers, and Jamaican filmmaking talent, and he's always given up his time and expertise to support them. Here's a video message from Alric Brown.
An honor, and it's been an honor to work with JAFTA Propella over the last few years. Congratulations to the entire JAFTA team, big ups. Congratulations to the Propella program and those who made it possible and all the partners. But more importantly, congratulations to the participants. All the participants for previous years, but particularly the participants this year. This is your night, this is your time. And I want you to put it in context. You were able to pull these films off during a global pandemic. And you wrote, directed, produced, and made this thing work. I value process over product. Product is important. But the fact that you were able to learn and strive and struggle and still pull this off, it's a huge thing. Filmmaking is not easy. It is a daunting venture. It can be a Herculean task, and you pulled it off. Through the trials and the tribulations, through the ups and downs, you made it happen. So for that, you should be commended. Filmmaking is also a divine venture. Human beings getting together to tell a story, your cast, your crew, your actors, all the people who you worked with to make this possible. There's something magical about that, and it should never be understated. But the real reward is not tonight, it's not money. When you do this well, you get to do it again. Hopefully you get a chance to make another film, or you make a chance to make another film. So I hope that all of you take the lessons that you learned during this process to the next project. JAFTA Propella is a capacity building assignment. And so hopefully you're a better filmmaker than you were when you started, and you take these lessons to write, direct, and produce your next project. And if you're not doing it for yourself, hopefully you're helping someone else write, direct, and produce their films. There's divinity in helping other people tell their stories. We are filmmakers, and so we need each other. So I hope you all are taking all these lessons and gonna continue to create. You're filmmakers, go out and make more movies. All right, congratulations, and it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Take care. Peace.
Thank you so much, Alaric, and thank you for the time that you've put into these projects. Listen, Appointment TV is Shadowhunters, Hemlock Grove, Nancy Drew, Cloak and Dagger. And so we are blessed to have with us filmmaker and director of those television series, Amanda Rowe. And Amanda was a directing mentor for JAFTA Propella 2020. She supported the projects in kind and otherwise, and she gave so much of her time and expertise. So it's my pleasure to welcome Amanda Rowe.
Hi. First of all, congratulations. So many congratulations. This time last year, I was trapped in a basement in quarantine, and I had the absolute pleasure of guiding 5 extraordinary, passionate, unique filmmakers on a journey of telling their story. I'll tell you, I was right ahead of producing a television series during a global pandemic, and quite honestly, the creative rocket fuel that I was provided by these wonderful, wonderful people really helped a lot. Every single one of them was unique and more importantly, passionate. And like Alaric said, there's nothing harder than being a filmmaker. There's nothing harder than being a filmmaker with no budget. There's nothing harder than being a filmmaker with no budget during a global pandemic. I mean, I cannot stress how incredibly proud you all should be for the incredible films you made and the wonderful stories you told despite the limitations. We spoke so much about how embracing the limitations is what it is to be a filmmaker. And if you could do that now during these circumstances, just, you know, think of what you could do in the future. If this year, I think, has taught us anything, it's that storytelling is really, really important. And people have felt more alone than ever before, and they've had to reach to their TV screen or a book or whatever, and it feels like a hand is coming out and holding your hand. And us as filmmakers, we are that's our job, and you guys successfully did that, and I'm really, really proud of you, and I can't wait to see the films, and I can't wait to see you guys afterwards. Thank you for having me. It was a great privilege.
Thank you so much, Amanda, and thank you for all that you do. Now, listen, we want to welcome all the folks that have joined us on our YouTube channel at JAFTA Online. Thank you so much for tuning in. And so what's going to happen? I know you've been hearing a lot about the initiative since 2016, 14 short films. I know you want to get a little peek of what you've missed, if you've missed some of them. So we're going to do a film featurette of our propellants from 2016 to 2018. And then we are going to showcase 2020 finalists. So before we get to 2020, here we go. The screening of JAFTA Propella 2016 to 2018.
Is your strongest muscle.
So, You have us backed into a corner.
Lady, please don't leave me.
Never want to turn out like me neither. With the cold I want to tie up my foot.
Despite all my knowledge, there are still things that even I don't see coming. Go!
Me not afraid of nothing, brethren.
All of this, that's why I won.
You got something important?
I deserve a treat every now and then.
Amazing. And I know you've seen some faces that have moved from JAFTA Propella onto the global screen, stories that have been shared all over the world. Listen, this project has touched so many lives. And so I know you're excited about the ones you're going to see right now. At the core, both JAFTA and JAFTA Propella initiative focus on developmental initiatives, emerging and creative voices and stories, structured collaboration, best practices, and community building. 4 projects were selected for 2020, which underwent development from treatment to screenplay, and which were then produced by the propellants who participated in the respective screenwriting, directing workshop. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you're going to see tonight. So our first film, High Strangeness, written and directed by Didi Beck and produced by Carleene Samuels. When a young woman in a haunted house realizes that her banishing ritual didn't work, she must confront more than just duppies. Written and directed by Didi Beck, produced by Carleene Samuels, starring Lisa Beck Samuels, Cherie MacDonald, Shanique Brown, and Jerry Benswick. Then we have Knock Knock, written and directed by Dario Shields and produced by Frank O'Neill. A prominent pastor has his faith tested when he invites a stranger into God's house, starring Tony Rodney, Stephanie Hazel, and Davian Smith. Then we have Sync, or Swim. Written and co-directed by Tony Hendricks and co-directed and produced by Natalie Thompson. After his fisherman father drowns, a taciturn young boy blames himself. He must find the strength to talk or it will weigh him down. Starring Justin Williams and Kimberly Patterson and featuring Rodney Campbell. And our fourth film, Sugarcake, written and directed by Joshua Paul and produced by Saeed Thomas. A security officer on the verge of suicide one night is interrupted by a prostitute named Sugarcake. Starring Aisha Davis and John Chambers. Ladies and gentlemen, here are our JAFTA Propella 2020 films. Listen, I know it's virtual, but come on. Excellent story, cinematography, direction. I'm excited. And I saw the comments online. Wow. YouTube was on fire. One thing about Jamaican audiences, we're very expressive. So me know who did afraid, me know who run gone under the bed, me know who outside, me know who cry, me know who connect. And isn't that the power of film? Isn't that really what it's supposed to do? Amazing work, everyone. So now we're going to move into our question and answer session. And I know a lot of you had comments, so please share your questions with us. I have with me the whole crew of propellants, and they're ready to answer. But you know, of course, I get to ask the questions first, and then you get to come on in, right? I'm interested to speak to the writers first. Because let me tell you something, a short film is not easy to write. To be able to capture character, capture story, emotion in a short film, exposition and this, it always intrigues me. And so let's start with Didi. Hey, Didi.
Hi, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you now. High Strangeness. First of all, the title. I have my own opinions why it's High Strangeness, but tell me about the title.
Okay, so high strangeness is the phrase most commonly used to describe phenomena that doesn't make sense. So
basically, yeah. I'm intrigued because, you know, the spiritual, the supernatural, it's one of those things that's such a big part of the Jamaican fabric, but one of those things that we pretend like we're hiding. And so what inspired you to write this story?
oh my God, my life experience.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just yeah. So in a nutshell, I'm able to see ghosts and sense spirits, and I'm psychic myself. So this was like just a tiny bit autobiographical, but it was based heavily on my actual life experience. So yeah, that's what inspired this story.
And thus the choice of Lisa, your sister?
No, that was a complete accident. Lisa is actually my sister. But we had two Stellas prior, and I found myself without a lead 2 days before filming, and it was like I was panicking. But my sister had been the one to run lines with me, and I ran everything by her, like in the process of writing this. So 2 days before filming, she saw me freaking out, and she picked up the script, and she was like, literally like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah, man. The spirits conspired. That's how it should have been.
And that's how she became the lead.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to Carleene Samuels, the producer, a little bit later on. But first, let's head to Knock Knock. Dario Shields. Dario?
Hey, I'm here.
What's going on up there, Dario? Talk to me.
What I mean?
I mean,
no, what I mean?
I saw you, man, when they opened the door, people said, not let him in. Dario, first of all, Jamaican people not letting people, not let him in. So talk to me about knock.
No, you know, the thing about it is that doing the film itself was, we made the script. There was so many changes made to that script, you know, and I have to big up all the persons on JAFTA Propella for that, because like really and truly, the story was set in one way, which was really dark, right? I wanted to take on a dark approach to it. And then afterwards, you know, propellant teams, the writing consultants, everyone came on board, Frank, many persons. And they say, oh, Dario, just change that, change this. And it was really me going deep inside to actually find something that would work. So, you know, I had to use the rain because, you know, somebody come at your door and rain start fall. Especially if it is that you are a pastor. You're not gonna make him stay outside, you know? So yeah, that was the motivation and that there. But I mean, like, I don't know what was going through my head, honestly.
Once it rains, man, we're gonna open the doors and we're gonna let people in. It is it's gospel. It's gospel.
It is. I wanted to take on a different approach to a regular gospel film, because I believe that, like, when persons see a gospel film, they're like, oh, I got a Christian movie, you know? So I wanted to portray that there are actually different sides of God. There are different sides of God, and this version is actually the wrath. Okay. The wrath of Jesus coming, and also the judgment, a pre-judgment per se, like how far would you actually go for what you believe in? Because, you know, you say you believe in this, you're a pastor, you have all these great things, and you say you believe in this, like, so how far would you actually go? You know what I mean? So that was what I was challenging. I believe that the film itself is to actually, what would I say now? Is to actually challenge each person. So on a collective scale, it's this and that, But I believe the film itself was really to pinpoint a look for everyone, really, to look into themselves in terms of like, how far am I willing to go? Because I was once an accountant, turned into a filmmaker, the only filmmaker at the time that I thought from Mobay, of all places, everybody going to Kingston, And like, so like, how far would you go? I quit my job. I did all kind of different things. So like, it's really a challenge for persons. And what's the best way to challenge them? But to bring God in the picture, you know? So, yeah.
What's your truth? What's the commitment you're willing to make? And so I moved to Sink or Swim, Tony Hendricks. Love the story because, again, the fisherman is such a big part of Jamaican society, but we don't get enough stories about fishermen. What inspired you to write this one about a fisherman and his son, his family?
Hey, Delia, and congratulations to everybody, all of the Propella peeps. Some great films. It's the first time I'm seeing some of them. Really, there was a period of time I have been teaching kids how to swim. And I realized that within our country and our culture, we are surrounded by water. We have the land of wood and water, and yet so many of us can't swim. And very often, I mean, I was one of my experiences was being in a canoe in Treasure Beach, and we're going out, and the engine failed on the canoe. And the fisherman was the most frightened person because he couldn't swim. And I thought, how can you spend your life on the water and you can't swim? And plenty of people that way, you know, bank holidays, everybody go out and go to the beach and everything. And so much people can't swim. And we lose a lot of people that way. So I wanted to kind of highlight a little bit of that. But more importantly, it was also about the fact that although we can be very talkative and we love chat in Jamaica, but we don't always open up our emotions. And I think that it's actually very easy to also drown in your emotions. And so I wanted to kind of combine those two things. And, you know, part of the thing, as Dario was just saying, with this whole Propella process is you start with the kernel of an idea and then you explore it and you go deeper and you find, you know, ways of running themes in tandem, etc.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you said that because I'm using the young man as well, because first of all, we're happy to say we take Kinti, Kiba heart one, but I don't know if the heart one is we really Kiba it for true.
Right.
we have a tendency of growing our men not to express emotion, you know, and so I thought it was very powerful to see this young man being able to say, you know, what his challenges are. Joshua Paul.
Hey, good night, Dalia. How you doing?
How are you?
Not bad.
I found the story so intriguing. I mean, because when I looked at it, I thought, wow, here are two parents.
Yeah.
You know, coming face to face with the challenges of providing for your child and the decisions you have to make, and sometimes the inability to do what's best for them.
Definitely.
What inspired Sugarcake?
Yeah, I think, as you say, it's not necessarily about their occupation or what they do for a living, but the fact that these are two parents that they've both been through some sort of trauma, through some sort of situation, and you know what they really needed in this moment is a safe space to just rely on each other, to, you know, provide like that haven sort of feel where they can interact and communicate. So in terms of inspiration, I wrote the script, well, I wrote the treatment when I was in France with Saeed, my producer. We were pitching for another film at the time, and it was just being over there. It was just, I wanted to tell something simplistic. I wanted to tell something a little bit more rich and textured, and you know, this story just came to me from previous drafts that I'd written over the years. So yeah.
Awesome. I have a question for Didi. Will High Strangeness have a sequel?
I hope so.
We hope so too. So the next question I think is going to I think all the directors will be able to respond to that, and I want to get back. Didi, you directed High Strangeness as well. Tell me about that process, particularly. I mean, they're dealing with the supernatural. They're popping up all over the place. I'm like, what is this? Talk to me about High Strangeness.
Oh my gosh. Well, when I was applying for this grant, I had lots of different stories that I wanted to pitch, but this one was the very last one that I threw in there because like Josh and like everyone else, I'm sure, I had so many versions of this story that I could have written. And truthfully, what you see on screen is not necessarily the original draft. It's what I could grab from what we shot. But the process of writing it was really, it's like trying to take the inside of my brain and put it on paper, which it's very elusive, like the ghosts I live with. But I had a really great team in the form of like my fellow propellants and the form of Alric and Natasha, and I'm sure I'm missing lots of people, but yeah, I just wanted to tell something that, like, tell a story that I hadn't seen before, which was like a celebration of ghosts, like a casualization of ghosts. I just made that word up. But yeah, I wanted to share my life experiences. Duppies are often demonized in Jamaica, and I don't personally demonize them. I think they make my life interesting.
Nice. I like it. Carleene, as producer on the film, talk to me. I mean, again, and one of the questions is, what is the art of conveying such powerful messages in such a short space of time? As a producer, talk to me about the challenges.
It's definitely a challenge. I think all of us here would say that. So for us, I think that first process that we went through with Amanda, and everybody actually, we had to like all kind of comment on each other's work and talk about it. So for Didi herself, I mean, she definitely went through the chopping and the figuring out and so on. So it's really the art of trying to get that kernel of what you're trying to say in a very short time. Of course, with most of these films, and definitely with High Strangeness, we'd love it to be a feature, or we'd love it to turn into something else and so on. So we're always trying to give you a little piece of, I want more. So I think that's the thing that we try to do. Try to make you kind of feel like you want to think, oh, what happened? So that's what we try to do.
Yeah, Frank, same thing for Knock Knock?
Yes, absolutely. Knock Knock was, I mean, job as a producer was essentially to harness the creative energy from a director and realize what your director wants and try our hardest to get it done within a short period of time. As we know, Dario is very much passionate about the project, and going on board with him and just trying to make that all happen in one night was a challenge within itself. And it was a blessing to be able to be a part of the program.
Yeah, he's smiling. Dario, a challenge, one night. That's a lot of work in one night, bro.
Well, the truth of the situation is that when I took on this specific project, I said I wanted to really give myself a big challenge. So what I did is that I went ahead and worked with a great team. So it was a lot of work for me and Frank, like a whole heap of work, right? But I mean, I believe that, being crunched with that limitation actually pulled out so much more. And there was a lot of pre-production, there was a lot of issues that happened and so many different things. But the truth is that I'm really happy with how everything came out. I mean, for the final cut is very different from what originally was done, and there were so many different issues. But I'm just thankful of it. I had a great team working with, so it didn't really feel as if like it was just one night. It felt like a whole long period because Propella prepared us really well. So yeah.
Yeah, Natalie Thompson. So I want to hear from Natalie because I mean, seasoned producer, work on big budget, plenty months and years films. The difference in working on films, short films, shorter space of time, but still having to complete a project that has that kind of impact.
We shot a lot more. Sorry, let me take off because I'm sure it's reflecting. We shot a lot more than we showed we ended up cutting for the short film. It came out very succinct. We shot for 2 days. There were a lot of other characters in there, and we decided that was not helping the story to go along as well as it did. We didn't think, I mean, this is not the first time Tony and I have done this sort of thing. This time, I don't think we ever thought that this would be a feature. This was a short film to be told in a short time. And I think we got the message over. A lot of little things, we took it out, but, and I think it was very, we were very happy with it in there, but it was a process. It was a process. 2 days in St. Thomas just before they locked it down.
Wow. Co-directors, how does it work? Tony, you decide, okay, Natalie, I'm gonna deal with this. You deal with that, or as you go along, you both take on different aspects as it unfolds.
A little bit of both. In this particular case, with Natalie is far more experienced as a director. So she told everybody from the get-go, I will allow Tony to do stuff until I decide he's doing the wrong thing, and then I will jump in and tell him he can't do that. So I kind of went on the front foot, as it were, and she was up the bowler's end, kind of watching progress while I was, hitting a few runs here and there. And when she thought that I was tired or I was starting to swing the bat too much, she would call and we'd run a single and then she would take over. There's my metaphor and analogy for the day.
No, but listen, whose idea was the iPhone 11 under the water? I saw that in the credits.
Well, let me tell you something. Sorry, Natalie. The thing was, right? I have this iPhone 11 and I knew it wasn't underwater and it was in a little case and everything like that. But we get to St. Thomas at one point and say, all right, I'm going to practice with the phone. I'm going to try it and see it. I just lay it onto the bottom and I swim away. And then I do the thing of swimming down to the camera to see how it works and everything like that. And then I come up. And when I come up, my mask is all steamed up. So I kind of clean the mask and then I go back down. Can I find the phone? The phone gone. Well, actually, the phone not gone at all. The phone was still there. It was me. I had drifted about 10 yards, 100 yards down the beach. Eventually, obviously, I found the phone, but I still have that clip on the phone, that file, which is about 6 minutes long of me looking for the phone.
I can see Natalie's face now saying, boy, you should have seen him out there trying to
the phone.
Crowd gathering, you know, crowd gathering.
Joshua Paul, a question I have for you is, how did the director of Sugarcake direct his actors? They nailed it.
Well, great question. I think it's a winding question, actually. There are many things that, you know, as a director you have to kind of be looking at, you have to be thinking about. For one, when it comes to communicating with the talent, you need to definitely know that story inside out. It's almost like, you know, a short film is only 10-15 minutes. You got to be able to communicate to your actors, where were they the moments before that? What are they thinking? How do they feel? And then, you know, once it is that they have that understanding, then the lines become more organic. The lines can, you know, the execution of those lines, it becomes easier. And we saw that on our set because we had about like 4 hours to shoot, even, you know, with the curfew stipulations and whatnot. But, you know, because we had rehearsal time, because we have such a robust cast here, we have an amazing cast with Aisha and John, you know, they worked at it, they hammered it, and I'm so proud of them. Like, trust me, they're amazing to work with. You guys need to hire these guys. They're top notch.
Saeed, I know Joshua Paul is saying it was amazing, but as a producer, talk to me.
It was difficult. It turned out amazing for sure, but it was definitely a difficult period, especially during COVID. It was 2 nights, and we never had much time to flex with because of the curfew, and the rehearsals came in very important, and of course we tried to flex the hours a little bit, but it was really pressuring, and then just the making and the organizing of certain things. So this was my first time trying to get a gun prop, and that was a little bit difficult. I know Natalie can attest to that because she has probably done it many times, but that was a little bit difficult. During the period as well, we had a little trouble with KSAC. I shouldn't say trouble, but difficulty. And it definitely impacted the budget, and big shout out to JAMPRO and Renee for kind of stepping in and assisting us as best as possible. But it definitely was one of the harder projects that I worked on, but I'm so glad that we did prepare ourselves for it, and it turned out great.
Listen, I'm listening to everyone, and I think that's a great thing about this experience is that everyone has come away with something new, some knowledge, some experience, connected you. Because I know a lot of you probably hear Natalie Thompson name. I don't know how do I reach out to Natalie Thompson and Propella provide.
She has retired. You didn't hear her.
No. Natalie, your phone hasn't retired. That's what we're saying. We can pick it up and call you. And so it's good that we have the experience. And I'm looking at the blend of youth and experience tonight, and just so everybody's come together. And I see some of the cast members are here. And I want somebody say for knock knock, why did they let the devil in? I think only Dario can answer that question. I don't know either, but we'll see. One of the things was just the amazing cinematography. Oh my gosh, no man, directors, talk to me. Let me go back to Didi. Talk to me, Didi.
Oh my gosh, I had Gabby. Gabby somehow agreed to shoot this, and I think we spent, I don't know, like 6 hours at least on one day just trying to figure out how to shoot this, because I don't know if you realize, but like it was a lot of appearing and disappearing and then reappearing in different parts, and like I had a little bit of intuition about how to do that, but mainly I figured that out with the help of Amanda and Gabby, because yeah, that was tough.
But listen,
I had great actors too. So.
Process, but it worked. It worked. So kudos to everyone. Dario.
Well, thank you so much. The cinematography was actually done by Lone Wolf. When I created the story and I got to with Knock Knock, I said during the top 10, I said actually before then I said to him, yo, we need to work on something together. We did something before, but it was like that's a big book. I mean, I said, yo, we need to work on this together. Like I really, I hammered that vision, and a few cinematographers called me. Actually, when I got to top 10, a few persons called me, messaged me and stuff. Yo, I want to work on film, so interesting, da 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 da. So I was like, yo, I actually have a cinematographer already. And then when the night before, we actually stayed at the villa where we shot the movie. And we actually stayed up pretty much all night, just kind of going through stuff. Stuff changed while we were shooting, but we went through stuff, and it was really where all our minds came together. So it wasn't just me; it was really Frank stepped in big time. Darlan stepped in big time. Wolf, he likes to call himself, he likes to be addressed as Lone Wolf. So Wolf. So I mean, it was really the meeting of the minds, everyone coming together to making sure that the set was as best as it could be, so that when the lights came on and so it was really a team effort, to be honest. But I had a vision in terms of moving the film from this big, beautiful world to this really dark world, and everything is getting closed in on this pastor who believes he's the biggest thing and whatever. But then when God comes into play, you realize that, you're not as big as you think. Your world is not as bright and beautiful as you think, So I still ended it dark because I wanted to show that they're still in a dark place. But it ends with the last shot being Chris, and hint, hint, Chris means Christ. So I ended it with him because I wanted the focus to be on God, So everything was actually, how would I say, pre-planned in a sense. And the team helped to make it better.
Big up to Tony Rodney, talent out of Montego Bay.
Big up to Davian and Stephanie as well. So yeah, everybody did it.
In a minute. So Tony.
Yes, ma'am.
So
well, the most important question that all of us, everybody on YouTube and all of us here want to know is, why is Didi in the kitchen cupboard? Because that's the thing. It's too much duppy outside the room that you have to go hide in the kitchen cupboard. And I tell you something else. I have the same shelving inside my walk-in closet, as it turns out. It's very strong and it's very good. And if duppy come in there, you can just hold on to that, and it will keep you.
If I have to stay here for long, I have food. Okay, that's all.
Okay, fair enough. Oh! I didn't realize the hurricane coming where you are. The Gabrielle Blackwood is one of, because we have some fantastic photographers in Jamaica. Gabrielle Blackwood is who worked with us on Sink or Swim, and she's worked with Natalie and myself on stuff before, on another short film. If you think her cinematography is beautiful, it's only half as beautiful as the person that she is. She truly is. I may love to just kind of to ruffle her spirit at times, but it's fantastic, and it's a blessing to work with her. No question about that.
Wonderful. And for you, Joshua Paul.
Yeah, I've since I've been creating content, I've kind of had an agenda to work with as many DPs as possible. And on this one, I had the pleasure of working with Darren Scott. And I must say, like, apart from the fact that Darren knows what he's doing and he's, very prolific and very skilled in his craft, his energy is something that I have to commend on as well, because he brought a lot to the table in terms of just, how the project turned out in the long run. Everyone has been commenting that Sugarcake, the look and feel is something out of this world. And I know from me, I had envisioned a gritty feel originally, but when I watch the film now, it has this subtle angelic type of feel, which, again, I have to commend Darren and the team in terms of how it was lit and how it was put together, because it definitely, kind of enhances that theme, that motif that we're building in terms of simplicity and in terms of people depending on each other. So definitely it's a teamwork, and, big up to everybody on board.
Yeah, excellent. Want to hear from the cast members. I mean, we've heard from the writer, director, producer. I want to know how you guys survived the process as well. Lisa, I want to start with you, because sometimes it's not so easy working with family, So How was this experience for you? Is it first time acting?
Yeah, it was literally not planned at all. I was petrified. I was like, not only is this my first time acting, it's for my sister. So it was super important for me not to disappoint her. But it was fantastic. As my sister said, the filming conditions it was hurricaning on our old house with very loud roofing. So it was a lot of anxiety, but the rest of the cast, the crew, my sister keeping everything together. She's amazing in high stress situations. It was an experience of a lifetime. I had a great, great, great time. And Gabby is just like the mother of the entire cast, just keeping everybody together by the seams, getting annoyed with people who she needs to get annoyed with, including me when I'm running from side to side in the room. She's like, Lee, you're shaking the camera, stop. I'm like, I'm so sorry, it's my first time.
She just said, that's not me, it's the ghost.
It's the ghost, it's not me. No, but it was fantastic. It was an honor. I love my sister so much, and I saw how much work she put into this film. She's very intuitive. She's very honest, and this film was her baby, and it's the best experience ever to be a part of that with her.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Stephanie Hazel is with us. Stephanie, everybody's asking why you opened the door. Well, you never open the door. You always run open the door, and then you
exactly.
I'm in. But how was this experience for you? I know not your first film, but how was this for you?
Right. So it was Tony who you need to take up on opening the door. But it really was a great experience, and I thank Dario and the team, Frank, everybody for the opportunity. All the special effects and being on set while that was happening, how much that added to the ambience and the feel and the intensity of all the emotions. As you can see, my sole purpose was to ball. So, but it really helped the story and it helped my role to, I guess, materialize given all of the stuff that was happening in our home when we opened the door.
Resonate with you, Stephanie, as a woman of faith? How much did it resonate with you?
Wow, it's funny. Initially, I felt a little nervous, like, Lord Dario, this sounds like it go. The Christians might get vexed, and some other people might just be turned off. But then I also knew that some would love it because it was also so stirring, it's thought-provoking. Ultimately, by the time I saw the last version of the script, I was like, yeah, this is a good story. And it's good to get people to really think about their faith and, how much they are really committed to that.
Yes. Well, I have a lot of questions on YouTube for young Justin. Hey, Justin.
Good night.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am awesome. Listen, everyone, Justin was so awesome. Does Justin want to continue acting? He was so natural.
Yes, I would like to. It is very fun to do, and I tend to meet new people, which is a thing I like to do. I like to socialize with people, and it's very fun.
Yeah. They said, did you enjoy the process of filming and learning lines?
Yes, I did. It wasn't that much of a struggle, but yes, I did enjoy it.
When Tony was trying to find his phone, did you try to help him or did you stay from afar and laugh that the phone was lost?
I was not there, but yes, I will watch the video and it was kind of funny.
Awesome. Justin, you were so good though. You really were. I really hope you enjoyed this process and I look forward to seeing you in so much more.
Thank you.
All right. Where are the sugar cakes? Aisha.
Right here, Delia. Hi.
Oh my, Lord. So many questions. So many. It's funny. People ask, John, so not Aisha, when you watch the car, I won't tell you what some people are saying on YouTube. All right. What was that experience like for you? Yeah, talk to me.
It was a very interesting experience. Just the thought I'm about to play the role of a prostitute is like, But we do our research, and I was like, I got this, But then when we shot, it was really good. Our rehearsals were quite intense, so we could get the characters down, and on set there was just this synergy, and Joshua is an awesome director, so it was like it was nothing.
And you enjoyed a jerk chicken, the doughboy.
Look here, the funny thing about it is, one would think I was actually acting that I was hungry, because I didn't really hungry. By the time we got to that scene, I were dead in.
No. I could hear Saeed saying, "Don't eat all the chicken. We have some more takes to go. What is she doing?"
But I wasn't actually. The funny thing, you know how we do it. We just take a little piece and go on like we're actually finishing it. Just look like we were doing it.
John Chambers, wow, man. I mean, I wanted to ask, where did you go? Where did you go emotionally?
I had to go deep. Daria. And Joshua, he took me deep. He was my dive instructor. And in the last, when we had to do that scene there, he said, "John, now listen now. You've been to all the rehearsals, no tears, getting there close and close emotions." And he said, "Listen, we need to get the tears now for this shoot, for this." And so I had to go inside and draw on all that I could find, Delia. And when I was done, he said, "Okay, good. Yeah."
I remember saying to him, "I know, John, I know you don't have any kids, so you can't relate. How about finding someone who passed, someone that was so close to you, something that really affected you, even if it wasn't somebody that passed, and draw on that and let the waterworks run."
Right.
Yeah. But I like the director. I need the tears now.
Yeah, man.
Now.
Yeah, man.
Now.
And we were pressed for time. We
Yes.
have to leave that location to go up to the
To
jerk
the
chicken
pan
low,
chicken,
and we're pressed for time,
Curfew was no joke.
So Joshua was amazing.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
sir.
hear a cast and crew viewing party going on, the Sugarcake crew.
Yes.
Everybody else.
We're in our own studios here.
So that means jerk chicken. So Joshua probably have jerk chicken. Like Saeed, what's going on with that?
We step up a notch. It's pizza tonight.
Oh, man.
And wine, pizza and wine.
All right, we have to go, but I want to find out from everyone. Obviously, very, very happy with the projects. What's next? Didi, what's next?
I guess time and funding will decide, but I am working on a feature, a documentary, and hopefully a web series as well. I don't know how much I should share, but it's all related to ghosts. Yeah. I have so many ghost stories. I love sharing them with people who want to know more about them. And I know that there's an entire community out there, like a global community, who wants to hear the stories that I have to tell, both from my life experience, but also the ones that I dream and think are my life experience. So that's what's next.
No joke, man. People want to hear. Listen, there was one time in the print media, ghost stories were a big thing. People gather together. And the person in the community who would read the paper, and the ghost story was the big thing. So
listen, I have so many.
All right, all the best. Looking forward to it. Dario, talk to me. Knock. Is there going to
Knock. Frank is very convinced that he wants a part 2. Okay. I don't know how that's gonna go, but we'll see, right? We'll see. I'm very happy with everything. I'm very thankful to JAFTA for it. One of the things I'm very happy about is just the way how they helped me in terms of like cementing my writing and separating my writing from my directing. So, you know, that definitely helped me. I actually wore this specifically because it's a little hint to something that's coming soon. Hint Halloween. That's all I'll share on that. And another thing I've been actually working on for the last 4 years is actually a feature film. I'm actually gonna be doing it. I've pretty much almost everything that I need for it. And I'm actually stepping in front of the camera for this one. I'm doing a little Tyler Perry. So a lot of people know that I act. Some people know that I act, but I think it's time to challenge myself a little bit more. I like to challenge myself, so I'm going to challenge myself. I have an amazing team working with so far, and the team is going to be expanding once I step fully into pre-production mode. So I'm just going to be doing my best with Knock Knock through the festival circuits and just kind of expanding my network and growing. And then 2022, all being well, we have Red Card. So let's see.
Tell we not Dario, because we have to know we're gonna buy clothes early. Red Card.
No, Red Card. You know, Corona happened, so you know everything kind of got delayed. And then I really put down Red Card because I really wanted to cement myself in growing as a writer and a director. And that's why I actually entered the Propella program, because I believe that there's so many things that I can learn. There's so many ways that I can develop from, you know, I was an accountant. I'm good at numbers and stuff. So like going into the world of film was a whole new transition for me. So I believe I'm now fully ready to take on a feature film, and what better way than to tell a truly authentic Jamaican story that have a little badness in it, that have a little gun and love and drama and chaos and all that fun stuff. So yeah.
All right, thank you, Dario. Natalie said to herself, wow, a writer who actually understands numbers and figures. Because as a producer, Natalie knows that don't exist.
Oh, well, I do. And Frank dealt with that section perfectly well. So I'm thankful.
Better yet, a director who understands money, because directors don't normally understand money, you know.
No.
That's
what's great, Natalie, about this Propella experience, that you get to develop great work, but you also learn so much along the way.
Yes, it is. I mean, Tony and I were in the first Propella as well. And we have learned a lot from that project. But, you know, this is 5 years on, Tony, 5 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
5 years on, and we are still developing that for a feature now.
Yes. But Tony,
so, I mean, we have to understand that, and it takes a little while. It does not happen quickly.
It doesn't happen overnight. But Tony, listen, sink or swim. I want to hear more about this fisherman that don't know how to swim and want to see more of this little boy. I want to know, how did this fisherman end up with this wife? And who is it? And the brother looked very shady to me, like he's doing more than fishing. I mean, what are the plans for sink or swim?
Well, when we were casting, and we were saying, well, we need a shady brother. So Rodney was obviously the first choice. You know how that goes. But yeah, I mean, as Natalie said, and I think everybody needs to know this, you know, who are not necessarily in the business, but it needs to be reaffirmed for everybody who is in the business, that every first draft that you write is really no good. And you don't get good until you've done 20 drafts of any script. You know that, Delia. And Natalie and I, we're very blessed in that we are developing, and we have, you know, producers on board developing Shoot the Girl from 2016 into a feature film, which we're hoping, but it's the movie business, you know, who knows. But we're still going great guns with that. And so as far as Sink or Swim is concerned, yeah, absolutely. With every story that you write, I think that there is, and what you see in the short film isn't always what you make the feature from. You know, the basic idea is there, some of those themes are there, and then you take it and you develop it. So absolutely, it's on my slate along with other things that we're doing. And it was very interesting just seeing the earlier clips that you showed from 2016, because there was one line delivered in the clip of Shoot the Girl, which I literally was just working around in a 23rd draft of a screenplay. But the other thing I just want to say just very quickly though is a huge thank you to the mentors Amanda and Alric, who took us through the early stages and help us, and an old cliche, but really were kind of the wind beneath our wings in terms of making us believe that we could do what we did do.
Yeah, amazing. Joshua Paul?
Yeah, I'll start on that sentiment, actually. Really, thanks so much, Amanda, Alric, and Natasha for the contributions in the pre-production stages. I think, despite the fact that it could have felt rough at times, all of it was towards purpose in terms of making, the projects as strong as they can be. And in regards to answering the question, I'm going to be shooting another short film in about 3 weeks. It's a Nanny of the Maroon film. I'll be co-directing with Saeed. It's a co-production with France, so we're really excited for that one. But after that, I'll have maybe another 2 short scripts I want to make before I look into making that first feature, hopefully by next year. So just keeping busy, always pressing ahead.
Yes, because I want to know Sugarcake end up on the road.
Well, Sugarcake is
policeman's daughter. What was wrong with her? Where's
yeah,
her mom? Where's the father them there?
I think Sugarcake itself needs a feature, but that's a work in progress.
Yes. Yeah, but it's a testament to all the films that we watched. We were so pulled into them. We wanted more, because we did a short film, and when it done, we said, all right. Everyone on YouTube everywhere wanted to see more, and I know we've been talking a lot about just how great the cinematography is and the writing and the producing, but I really think, as Propella says, it's about building a community. Actors, listen, Natalie can tell you, Tony, everyone, actors have to be in front of the camera consistently to make sure that
they do
right. And,
they do, and it's like it's all that exercise that the actors need to exercise as much as everybody else, and keep doing it. And that's one of the things about the short films, is that actors are really happy to come on board, and you get young talent such as Justin, who is an absolute superstar, working with somebody like Kimberly, who is working overseas already as well and stuff, and great symbiosis between them as well, and I hope to see more. All of the actors in all of the shows.
In the early Propella, Chantal Jackson, and we know
right.
Chantal's journey has been from there. So it's very important. And one other note that I want to end on, it's a very, very somber note, is when we look through the films and we saw Aston Cook, we saw Chappie.
Absolutely.
Wow, just how important this has been in terms of preserving them for us. It really was. And I mean, a big up Chappie and all of the support that he's given to JAFTA over the years and to the film industry, really and truly. I mean, guys, let me tell you, one life to live. And I mean, I hear Dario, and it sounds like a lot. And as long as you can do it and you believe you can do it, every single person here, get it done, because it's one life to live. We're gonna go.
And before you go away, Dahlia is a great example. She does it. She just gets up and does it. She have series here going, and she have another series coming, and she's doing her thing. She does it. I don't know how she does it, but she does it. One of these days, she's going to be recognized for what she does.
Bless you. That is recognition enough coming from Natalie, I'm telling you. So I'm good to go. Want to say thanks to all of our supporting partners, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, JAMPRO, Phase 3, to the mentors, Alric and Amanda, script consultant, Natasha Griffith, story editors, Leslie and Wanlis and Rachel Chen, producing and festival strategy consultants, Orla Garrick and Kirk Cooper, to Simon Packer, Chantal Jackson, Basil Jones, all the judges, and everyone working behind the scenes. To Far Eye Films, who's been a supporter of JAFTA Propella project since inception, and to all the amazing Jamaican cast and crew, the best in the world, who have given their time and talent to these projects over the years, because they believe in Jamaican film and stories. We have the best stories to tell and the best people to tell it. And this is the way that we continue to build it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us online. And thank you to our propellants and everyone on behalf of JAFTA. So glad to have been here at the launch of the JAFTA 2020 Propella. Remember, when next it comes, I know there are people sitting down now and looking and saying, boy, I wish that could be me. If you don't enter, you don't stand a chance. So the next time you hear that JAFTA is having something, you never know. Make a submission and join JAFTA. I'm Delia. I think we're out. We're all gone over to Didi house to eat out of the kitchen.
or we have to go and eat the pizza over Josh.
Yes. All right, have a good night, folks. Bless you.
Thank you, Delia. Good job.